Hi, it's Deprogram. My name is Justin, and I'm your host. Deprogram being the program where we talk about bands and try to get you into them. We do all the work. All you got to do is listen. And today we're talking about ELO, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of ELO, this is the least smooth segue I've ever done. Patreon.com/ohhijustin. I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you do what you will with that link.
ELO hi, Justin.
Look at you. That's Bryan Lewis right there. That's
nice.
Wow. Well, then that's the best way to do it. Let's introduce the panel. To my right, Bryan Lewis.
Hello. I would like to be referred to as my married name now, Bryan Lewis Stone King.
Oh.
Not official married yet, but soon. But it just sounds fucking badass, right?
I also feel like you were born for this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I really was. I just left the ELO show a week and a half ago.
So you've got it fresh on your mind.
It was my bucket list show. I cried like a baby.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Not crying like a baby, ladies and gentlemen, Jennie Zell.
I will be crying later, I'm sure. Or I'll make somebody else cry.
We're going to fight, probably.
I hope so.
To my left, this always studious Jody Delaunay.
One of these days, you're going to say my last name right, but you get closer.
I get closer
every
every time.
single time.
I churched it up.
Dearte.
Dearte.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that this time we've got fans in the corner, or at least a fan. It's a single fan. You can probably hear it. It kind of blows.
It's the biggest fan.
Yeah.
It was trying to blow me earlier.
Yeah.
I thought I was ELO's biggest fan.
All right, so let's talk about. Actually, so how did ELO even get on the list? At this point, I don't even remember. Was it your suggestion?
Yeah, I think I peer pressured Bryan into doing it.
I don't even know how I didn't suggest it. I thought y'all were too fucking lame.
I think you said that you're the only person in Hampton Roads that likes ELO, and I'm like, no, I'll do it. Whatever. It's been on the list for probably like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Bryan jumped on, and then as Jody is wont to do, goes through the list and goes, hey, how did I miss this one? I'm in. It gives me 9 other names at the same time, but
I got to make sure that I stay on the show, Justin.
That's how you do.
Well,
You
so
gotta
do
go with
I.
the panel that works, then. This just works, man.
I have to make sure I stay on the show.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. These last couple bands, so I didn't know much about ELO going in. At least I thought.
Yeah.
You
you definitely you know all their hit songs.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. But I thought for sure as I start doing this, and I'll go into this a little further as we get on. But I seriously did almost quit the show over this band, which is bizarre because it's not my favorite band we've ever done by a stretch. But seriously,
Lame.
well,
Ryan,
I am.
You or I are going to have to kick his ass.
I think so.
I never said I wasn't lame.
Well, this is fair. I mean, you got to give him points for that at least.
Right.
In all fairness, I don't know if liking ELO is cool. So, everyone's like, "That's your favorite band, really?" I guess they thought it was to be something better, like Radiohead or something. I'm like, no, it's ELO.
I just really like
Sorry.
Radiohead. Sorry.
I like Hall & Oates too, and Styx. I'm sorry, I'm lame. I mean, whatever.
So,
Wait, we're not supposed to like Styx?
I don't know. Isn't that lame?
What about Yes?
I don't know. Is any music lame? The answer to that is
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Not Yes, the band though,
No,
because
no,
they're
Yes is
fucking
cool.
awesome.
I just mean I don't know. I'm not going to try to give anybody crap for liking a band.
I will.
Yeah, you will.
I know you will.
You all have seen it.
So let's talk about it, Bryan. What is it about ELO?
It was everything I loved about music. It was orchestral music and rock and roll music. It was catchy pop music as well, perfectly produced. That was Jeff Lynne is my production idol and my sound engineer idol. I try to make everything I've ever recorded sound like something I failed miserably. I did for literally 15 seconds of a Gloom record that I recorded, the demo album what would later become our full length record. There was this guitar solo during Quantum Leap Year, and it's you could hear every nuance of everything. Everything was perfectly mixed, and I was like, God, this is my ELO moment right here. So
Better to have one than none.
and no one's ever heard it. So
I've
it's
heard
fine.
it. Well, no, I guess technically I haven't.
Yeah, no.
Never mind.
Yeah, no. I
Whoops.
I always loved Jeff Lynne's productions too. I mean, he wrote a lot of hits for Tom Petty that everyone loves as well. He produced the Beatles reunion. He produced every surviving Beatles solo at one point. Roy Orbison, the Traveling Wilburys Volume 1 is my favorite record of all time. So I worship the guy. He just did Regina Spektor record a couple of years, like probably 10 years ago now, but just beautiful. I could tell his production by the sound of the snare drum. Like, I'm a huge fanboy. So, yeah.
So yeah, it's now I know that part of your wanting to jump on ELO was because you and Bryan somehow, as
Never
long
done
as this show has existed,
Yes.
have never done an episode.
Never
together.
done an episode
That's
together.
why we're still friends, but that ends today.
And I hope the two of you have done everything you want to do together.
That'll be fine.
We saw Trainspotting 2 together. That was fun.
That was fun.
That was the highlight of our friendship.
Is that your breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah, pretty
You,
much.
you still have
Definitely.
Exactly.
And I recall, I think we both kind of liked it. I mean, you didn't. I liked it though.
You definitely liked it more than I
I
did.
did, yeah.
I was disappointed,
Yeah.
but that's me. That's
I was
life.
just trying to quote a terrible song.
That
That song is terrible. That song is like, oh, we vaguely have one superficial thing in common. Maybe we should date. Like, you should bang me because we kind of liked the movie once a long time ago.
Well, at least that's one thing we got.
Yeah. Anyway.
So it's okay to make fun of somebody for that song, right?
Yeah,
For that song
totally.
specifically, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you, Deep Blue something or whatever the fuck your
No,
band
that
name
was
is.
right. That was it. And I
know.
feel ashamed I know that. But
I
if you know
actually
that-
knew. I was pretending I didn't know.
No need. No need.
I can name you the
Okay, wait.
Dishwalla hit songs
I was
too.
going to say, we're right there. Dishwalla or Deep Blue something. Gun to your head.
I have to go with Tiswalla.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because
What-
they
wait,
have
what song
more
is
they have more songs I can remember.
Yeah, that song's cool. Yeah, I like that song. It's like the poor man's "We Were Merely Freshmen," but it's not.
Look.
It's about something cool, like somebody committed suicide.
I'm sorry, Justin, but that song made me so happy when it came out because I loved pointing out to all the uptight, hyper Christian people that live in this little pocket of our world that they referred to God as a female in that song, and
Yeah.
they didn't notice it until I pointed it out to them,
Ah,
and it made them so angry.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like, yeah, they
Points.
call
Points.
her.
yeah.
Points
Fuck
to
you,
Dishwalla.
Joan Osborne.
Exactly.
Points to Dishwalla for that. But
Shout out to Dishwalla fans out there.
Taking
All-
one for the team.
Yeah,
You're better than the Deep Zoo something fans, unless
I
you're the
choose
same fans,
suicide.
in which case, yeah, you're gonna do.
so ELO, Jenny.
we haven't even got a one pick. We derailed the show already.
So ELO,
That
Jenny.
happens. So I guess I got into ELO because my mom gave me her giant stack of records, and as a teenager, I went through all of them, and my favorite record, you'll figure it out as we're going through the list because I favored it heavily. And then I think at some point, I kind of. I've always listened to them, but then the Doctor Who episode where they featured ELO music,
Yeah.
it kind of brought me back into listening to them, and I was like, man, I forgot how great they are, and I kind of, snowballed from there, I guess. And then I guess my thing is too that any one of the Traveling Wilburys, since there's only 2 Traveling Wilburys albums, any one of them individually, I'll be on the deprogrammed episode for
Yeah,
them.
I need to be on that.
We'll just do a whole series of Traveling
There
Wilburys.
doesn't need to. You just listen to every Travel Wars record.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
only 2. The B-sides though. Nobody's Child. It's pretty good. Anyway,
So Jody, let's talk about it. ELO, why?
Well, in large part, it's, I think, probably due to childhood memories. It reminds me of their music in general, some of their disco-y stuff specifically, but reminds me of the time as a child that I remember my parents being happy and enjoying each other's company. Because they used to be that we go out every Saturday night dancing, and they would lead up to that going out by playing songs that they liked to dance to in the house and dancing around with each other, getting ready. And Turn to Stone one sticks out in my head
Nice.
as a prominent one. And so that's probably what really draws me in is remembering, hey, things used to be cool at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I brought it
That's
down.
just-
No.
It's all right.
But
That's
th-
actually a sweet memory.
yeah, seriously. I'm
And
just
then-
over here. I've kind of heard of
And
them
then Jody
before, I
would grow up
guess.
to become Batman.
So again,
Don't
ELO
give my
was.
secrets away.
I knew ELO without knowing that I knew ELO. Apparently, Adam Sandler, a huge ELO fan.
That song is on my list because of that. Actually, it's a great song anyway.
There's a lot of. I feel like he brings out ELO a lot because as I'm listening, I was like, "Oh, that's ELO."
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
Paul Thomas Anderson and John Bryan and Harry Nilsson. He loves Harry Nilsson.
It's just, I had no idea. And the other thing, I don't think I gave much credence to the word orchestra.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, that's a clever name.
Yeah.
And then you listen, it's like, oh no,
Now
there's a fucking orchestra.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. That was
They
a
were-
nice shock.
The Moody Blues had incorporated orchestral instruments before them, but they were the first band to ever be part of the band. They had like a violinist, a cellist, and
So again, that was just it. I used the word shock earlier. I don't know if it would be a shock. It just kind of like was like a jolt of, oh, duh, it's in the name.
yeah.
So
Does what it says on the
it
tin.
does what it says.
It's like the shitty Beatles. It's not a clever name. Not just a clever name.
they fucking
They
suck.
suck.
Well, didn't I guess Jeff Lynne's or shit. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
You're already off the show.
Out of here. I know it's your house, but get out.
Okay, I mean, I'll leave. It's fine. I guess part of the inspiration for ELO as the band was they heard I Am the Walrus and said, oh, we like what you did with all the strings and this sound. Like, let's do some more in that direction.
Yeah, the Beatles were a huge influence, I mean, on everyone.
Which you can
But,
hear in Queen of the Hours.
Mhm.
But
very
George Harrison
prominently.
famously said that that's what the Beatles would have sounded like if they kept making music. They would have sounded like ELO. So, and had a long-standing working relationship until George Harrison's death.
Well, now.
Yeah.
So, I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway, Brian. Talk to me about putting your 20 together.
I did it on the way here because it's like Fiona Apple, like I said on the last show I was on. I think I referenced this list on that show too. I've been compiling this list my whole life. I can if I had a gun to my head, I could name you my favorite 20 ELO songs. I love this band. I'm obsessed with Jeff Lynne. Like I said, I know a production of his by the sound of the snare drum. Like when I got the early copy of Regina Spektor's record, I didn't know what songs he did. I knew he did 5 songs on the record, but I heard the song and I heard the snare drum kick and I said, this is one he did, and I was right. Like there's only one song that the snare drum does not sound the same, and every song he's ever produced, and it's a Tom Petty song. And I can't think of it right now because I need to sound smart, but I can't.
Now you're off the show.
Yeah, exactly. No, but there's one Tom Petty song where the snare drum sounds different, and otherwise they all sound the same. I worship the guy. I mean, he's the most underrated musical genius, I think. So,
High praise.
he had more hits in England than the Beatles.
That's saying something.
That's a true statement.
That's saying something.
And we'll never get the respect that they deserve, I don't think.
But at least they're still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, fuck you, Beatles.
Yeah. Dicks.
Calm down. Calm down.
So I know you hit some snags, Jenny, but talk to me about putting your 20 together.
So, like, I've kind of changed my process entirely from when I first started doing the show. I used to kind of, like, compile a list of, like, every single song that even caught my attention as I'm scanning through. And I've gotten to now where I pick the ones that jump out at me, like, what can I say about this song? And it's made my life a lot easier. I still end up doing all my homework at the last minute. As I was listening to stuff.
I've done my
as you
best
walk
work
in.
at the last minute.
I mean,
do all
yeah.
my work at the last minute.
Yeah.
Usually I was the kid in school that was doing the reports like the day it was due in the lobby, on the bus, that sort of thing. So nothing ever changes, basically, is what I'm saying. But yeah, like I just kind of try to go through and like kind of as usual pick the what I feel like are the quintessential ELO sounds. I had some trouble with some of them because they like to do concept albums, and whenever there's a concept album, it's hard to find one that like jumps out as how can you take this out of context.
There's 2
and listen to
specifically
this.
that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I like had some trouble with that, and then I I kind of skimmed over one album that I probably shouldn't have skimmed over quite as much as I did. Y'all can yell at me for that later.
I just feel my blood pressure going up already.
You don't even know which album it is, but it doesn't matter.
You just turn that fan over my way, please. I had to cool down.
I was going to say, I feel like the second
Can I put some
he
vodka
walked
in
in,
this water I'm drinking?
Bryan started his. I know you guys are going to say
kind of
wrong
a reason
stuff.
for it. It's one that I'm more familiar with than some of the other ones. So I kind of was like, I'll get back to that one. I'll figure it out later.
No, honestly, it's not going to be like I was on the Radiohead or the Talking Heads one, where it's like, and again, ELO's my favorite band over those two bands, but like, there's no wrong answer. Like, I'm not going to call you a poser if you like a certain ELO song, but I will call you a poser if you like a certain Talking Head song or a certain Radiohead song. If you're like, Creep Top 20, get the fuck out of my life forever.
That happened on that show, by the way.
I know. But
and we were right, by the way.
I will stay calm.
Like listen, I love that song because that's how I got into the band. I don't want to take it way off track.
It's a great song.
But I would not probably put it on my top 20.
No, it's one of their worst songs. It's a great song. I wish I wrote that song.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd be milking that shit.
If anything, it's like sentimental value. It's like I would probably say right off the bat, like, hey, look, this is the song that got me into this band, and you know that sometimes that's how I do it.
The rest, I don't know. The rest of their discography disagrees with Creep being on the list.
I wholeheartedly agree.
That's just how I feel. Jody, diligent, studious. How did you do this time?
Well, not terribly dissimilar from Jennie. The last few lists, I've been a little more selective about my first pass through because generally I would grab whatever grabbed my attention and then let them fight themselves out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the last few lists, it's been like, okay, this causes my list building to take 2 to 3 weeks to do. So in the interest of time, if I get the feeling that a song will not survive a second pass, I just don't bother because, like, why do that to myself?
Exactly.
After that, it became an interesting attempt to get representation of their sound because they have so many of them that sometimes even in the concept albums change from song to song.
Mm-hmm.
And I even changed one of my songs just before I got here. So it's like, because I was listening, because I literally just came from a D&D session. This whole weekend's been busy for me. And so like I left from there, stopped at the Sonic down the street to eat, and I was listening to my list before I got here. And I'm listening to this one song going, I really like this song, but it really bothered me cutting that last song I cut. And I like this song, but the number of people that are going to actually attach to this one to be a song that gets them to listen is low. So
Well,
I guess it has to go.
I want to hear what that song is. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Well, I took that same tack. Like my first pass, I did as normal. Just collected everything that kind of got my attention. And I feel like I don't know if I put it up there, but I think it was something like 47 songs.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
So I was like, oh boy, okay. But I was very selective in my second pass through. Like, I kept in mind, well, is this something that I could point somebody to and say, yeah, this is kind of what they do, or when I went back through, it didn't sound right out of context without the rest of the album. So, you know, my second pass was not as hard. I got down to 26.
Yeah.
Getting from 26 to 20 was hell. It took me 2.5 days to cut 6 songs. I cut the last one this morning, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm not even going to review it. This is what I'm going with. With that being said, though, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. We have all come through, what was it, 7 albums?
I think so.
Yes.
No, we might have actually ended up with 8, didn't we?
No, it was 7.
Okay.
I'm looking at it here. It's 7.
So we come through 7 albums, and we've each pulled out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together to try to make a top 10 starter kit for if for whatever reason you're like me and you passed up on ELO. But again, I guarantee you know ELO songs.
Yeah, totally.
I guarantee it. I'm going to start here, even though it wasn't my favorite. It was the first one that really drew my attention, and I couldn't bring myself to cut it. 10,538 Overture.
Absolutely on the list.
Yep.
That's the one I pulled out.
Oh.
That was on my list until I was eating dinner.
Wow. All right. Well, I'll put that.
I mean, that is the introductory song from ELO.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I love the song.
They recorded it before they were technically a band. I mean, that is the sound of ELO.
Yeah.
That song.
But I was like, it's so orchestral heavy that I had trouble reconciling giving this to somebody who doesn't have an interest in orchestral music,
Okay.
and them going, oh yeah, and passing on it.
So
So it's like,
That's fine. They can pass on. I'll take it.
yeah, I mean, it's
I'll
fine.
pick it
Like
right
I said, I pulled it out to put something in that I didn't like that I cut.
So
Gotcha.
That's fair.
for me, like,
So-
because isn't that like track one?
That's
Like
track
Yeah,
one.
it's track
the
one.
first thing I
They're
heard.
It's supposed to be a self-titled record. In England, it's
didn't work.
self-titled. But when the American record company called to ask them what the album was, they literally didn't answer because it was the self-titled, and they just called it No Answer. So-
Somebody wrote it down as no
Yeah,
answer,
no answer.
and somebody took
Yeah.
that as the title of the album
Yep.
rather than
Oh.
they didn't
Yeah.
answer the phone.
Yeah, no answer.
Okay, well, that's some fun trivia.
Yeah.
love that
There you go.
But I
Yeah.
again, I sometimes you push play on a band and it's not what you expected, even though technically speaking, I should have expected it. And it just was like, oh, this is what I'm in for. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we got 3 of 4, so it's up near the top. We're gonna go, Bryan.
All right. This is my absolute favorite ELO song. Fun fact about this song: when I first bought this on CD, A New World Record, which is my favorite ELO record, it was 8 tracks of the same song. It was a misprint, so it was this song 8 times, and it took me like 3 songs. Then I go, wait a minute, this is the same fucking song. It is Tightrope. That is my favorite. That's my quintessential ELO
I
song.
got it.
Got
I
it.
Got it.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a like a heavy rock song, and also I love the orchestra in it. Love it. It's my favorite song. By
It's
far.
definitely classic. Their sound.
Like I almost didn't return that record and get a new one because I wanted to keep it just for like posterity's sake, but I did
Yeah.
because I was a broke teenager.
Fun fact that I was juggling between Overture and that as my first play
Yeah,
because those two were definitely the standouts. For
that
me.
is the quintessential for me. Absolutely.
There we go. We got one in. I feel like that's a first in a 4-person panel, getting it that early.
Right?
All right. All right, Jenny.
Okay, I usually am disappointed when I play my favorite right from the start, and I'm prepared for that, I think, maybe. But this is absolutely my favorite song. It's so weird, and it's a little surreal and romantic. Strange Magic.
Yep, I got it. And mainly because I love the orchestra before, like the instrumentation before it.
Yeah.
It's a great song anyway, but like, and he hated working with that orchestra too. Like he said, you could hear that orchestra just like it was a German orchestra. They were unionized, and they wouldn't give him a single minute over the allotted time. And he says you can hear them leaving on the record.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like he had to go back and like overdub stuff with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I need to go back and listen and see
Yeah.
if I can catch that.
Like if that's why on oh my god, the one that they sampled on that one fucking Pussycat Dolls song, you know that
No.
that string
Sorry.
arrangement anyway, he reversed it. It's a reverse of the waterfall string line because the orchestra had fucking left, so he had to fill it in. So yeah,
That reminds me, though.
Yeah.
I guess this is proof of my theory.
on Evil Woman is the one I'm talking about.
Germans love David
David
Hasselhoff.
Oh yes, they do.
So, are you out on Strange Magic too?
Yeah, it made my first pass. It just didn't survive past that.
Okay.
And
2 out of 3.
honestly, the main reason it didn't is I made an effort to go for the songs that not everyone was likely
Right.
to have
No.
heard.
I have a surprising amount of singles on here. I got some deep cuts too.
And to be
but-
perfectly honest with you, I was also slightly afraid of Bryan beating me up.
It's so hard for like bands like this to know like what people have heard, because I feel like there's a lot of songs that people have heard and don't know that it's ELO, and I kind of like I
Yeah.
put some of those on my list because I know that might be the gateway drug to get people in.
Because they liked the song, they just didn't
Right.
know it was
I
them.
mean, the first thing I ever heard, honestly, was Traveling Wilburys. I grew up with that record because my mom had it, and then I just heard all these songs. I didn't know it was the same band, and then I was like, wait, that's not the same band. It's ELO. Oh my god, it's the same guy. So then I was like, I know all these songs already. So it was really easy to get into it because I already liked 20, 25 of their songs.
Yeah. All right. First play, Jody. See how deep you go.
Yeah. So,
Phrasing?
like, just as a point of reference, I use the same template in Trello for every band I do. So I have along with all of the various lists I have for each group, I have one titled The 10, which is my top 10, and then I have an honorable, which is the second 10.
Yes.
This is irrelevant here. They just fell in.
That's how we used to do
Yeah,
it. on
they
the
just
show.
they just fell in because I really couldn't rank any of these. Not in
Right.
because it okay. I rephrase.
In no particular order.
I could have potentially ranked
Sure.
these if you gave me 4 or 5 months. I quit my job and I agonized over this. 15, 16 hours a day every single day.
got some ayahuasca. Put myself in a meditation chamber.
Exactly. Yeah, I could have done all that. But failing that, there is no particular order to any of this. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. And this is one of the ones. There's a few here that some segment of the song reminded me a lot of another song, to the point that either I get the feeling that even if they didn't realize it, this other artist took inspiration from, or in the case of one of them, ELO took inspiration. One Summer Dream.
I got it.
That's on mine. Yep.
And if you listen into the strings, there's a hint of the dreaminess from Goldfrapp's Happiness.
Oh, okay. I do have it.
Yep. I got it.
Whoa.
That's everybody.
Was that unanimous?
Unanimous.
Holy
Usually
crap.
ELO has great bookends to records. Their first and last tracks are usually the best.
Wow.
I
Well-
almost cut that one like right towards the end, just
I'm glad you
because.
didn't.
Yeah, I am
We're
too.
still friends officially. after 2 go rounds.
Well, I was trying to like balance out and bring in some of the songs from the one album that I kind of skimmed over a little bit too much, and that was towards the bottom. So I was like, maybe. No, I love that song. It's got to stay.
Would you look at that? No misses at all in the first round.
We
All
would
right.
have had one more unanimous if I hadn't got all itchy.
It's all good.
It happens.
There are worse problems to have.
Indeed. So now, where do I go? You know what? I'm going here because this was one of the songs. I love this song. I had no idea it was them. And I don't know. It made me think of Sandler and probably a million other movies. Telephone Line.
Yep.
That is the
Yes.
song I put in when I took out 10-530.
It,
Oh.
in all honesty, it is a song that's been played throughout my entire life. Again, it's in Billy Madison.
Yeah.
But there's no other song that sounds like that. It is an oddly pieced together song. I mean, it's genius, man. I mean, and the thing is that they had never dialed an American telephone when they wrote that song, so they just kind of guessed at what it sounded like on the synthesizer.
Oh.
I got it pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
So
All right,
we
wow.
all had that?
Yeah.
I got
Three
it.
unanimous. Unreal.
It's just like it's a remarkable song.
It is.
It may be a huge hit, but it's like there's no song that sounds like that. It's like White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane. No song sounds like that. There's no
Right.
chorus. There's no verse. It's just one long song. Not the same as this song, but like in the same vein where it's like there's no other song that's been written like this before.
I'd also venture to guess that more people are like me and don't realize that it's ELO.
Yeah.
Right.
They've heard it and don't know that. So,
Well, it doesn't sound anything like the biggest hit, which would
Even-
be Mr. Blue Sky. I think.
and even if you know ELO, you
Yeah.
don't know that is because, like you said, it
No.
doesn't sound like them.
No.
So, all right, Brian.
Okay. My second favorite song, the bookend of my favorite record, Shangri-La. The ending orchestration is the single most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. It's wonderful. It references the Beatles' "Hey Jude" in it. Even like literally in the chorus, it says "fading out like the Beatles" in "Hey Jude," which I would fucking hate those lyrics if anybody else wrote those. But for some reason, it works because I mean, none of you have that song, do you?
I don't.
No, I'm
No.
sorry.
No. Cool.
I
I looked at that
totally
one.
understand.
Well,
Yeah.
to quote the song, "My Shangri-La has gone away."
Yeah.
I
Right
looked
in
at that
the
one real
trash.
hard at the very end, and I was spoiler alert. New World Record is also my favorite
That's my favorite record.
my favorite album, and I looked at that one. And I was like, you know what? I've already got like 6 other songs. I can't.
I surprisingly
Yeah, it's
have
part
a
of the reason
tempered
why-
amount of songs from that. I limited myself to 3 from each. Really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what I tried to do. It
yeah.
didn't work as
Except for
well, but I tried.
All right, Jenny.
You know what? I think just because I mentioned it kind of in the prologue part of the show, I'm gonna play "Turn to Stone"
Yep. Great song.
Yeah. Well, that kind of had to be there for me.
because that one, every time I hear it, I just think of oh god, I can't remember the character's name in Doctor Who, just jamming out to that freaking
Yeah.
song.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I don't have it. 3 of 4 though.
Yeah.
3 of 4.
3 out of 4, and it's a song everyone knows. So doesn't make the list. Doesn't make the list.
All right, Jody.
Right. Well, let's do this. All right, we'll go here. Then this is just one of those. I liked it. I like it. It sounds a little weird. Not weird for them, just weird.
Great.
The Whale.
I got it.
Do not actually.
I don't.
Bravo though.
2 of 4. That's exactly why I couldn't bring myself to cut it. I was like, this is kind of weird. I like it.
Yeah.
I couldn't give you anything else. I was just like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I like that they're doing something weird. I'm into this.
I think that kind of sums up the band in general. Just kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so after 2 rounds, only 1 miss, 3 all the way through, 4 already in the conversation. So we are doing okay. So now, let me start taking wild swings here. I think I was really surprised when I started listening to Time, because I figured by this point I'd probably be getting tired of the band. I mean, that's
That's my
usually,
second favorite record. I
yeah.
love that.
usually
awesome.
usually when I listen to that many albums because I blasted it out in an afternoon,
Yeah.
I'd be fatigued by the time I got to the last album. Nah, not with Time.
Yeah.
It gun to the head, Time is probably my favorite of the ones that I
It's
listen to.
a concept record too,
Yeah.
so it was hard for me to pull stuff off of it.
Yeah.
because-
Well, their sound
Yeah.
evolves so much, like from the beginning to time, that you could listen to them all, and it's not going to be like listening to the same song over and
Mhm.
over again.
Yeah.
So
And that's also the first record that was just a trio, because he fired the orchestra after Discovery, or Discovery as they say, because he realized you could recreate it on synth, so he just fired the rest of the band.
Oh,
It was maybe they were a 4-piece set. It was Tandy, their bass player. They fired the bass player shortly after though. So yeah, and then Bev was the drummer. So I think it was they were a quartet then, but they went down to a trio shortly after.
look at you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trot this one out. Twilight.
I have it.
I chose the song that follows that instead. But great song.
Got 2. Jody.
No, that
Okay.
did not make it.
Okay. 2.
I like that one because it kind of set up the whole concept of
Yeah.
that album, but
Yeah.
it kind of stood on its own to me a little bit too.
That's
Yeah.
the way I felt when I
Yeah.
went back through. I was like,
That's one of
This
the ones
one
that they
stands on
actually
its
pulled,
own.
because Jeff Lynne does not really care for that record at all.
oh,
The only 2 songs they even reference anymore are "Hold On Tight" and that song from that record.
well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a decent pull then, I feel. All right, Bryan.
I'll go with that record. I think it's my favorite song from that record. It's a sexy song about a real falling in love with a robot. Yours truly, 2095.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got it.
Definitely.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
3 out of 4. I'm with it. We got 3 that have 3.
And that one was one of those ones that, not so much a particular song, but the sound of a band,
Yeah.
the Buggles, like heavily Video Killed the Radio Star, but just
Absolutely.
both sound from both of their
Okay.
albums.
Yeah.
It just has the vocal processing and the way they use the synth. It's like that sounds
Yeah.
like Buggles.
So
Or-
good.
All right, Jenny.
All right, I'm gonna pick a weird one too, because in fact I was talking to a friend about ELO earlier, and she was like, this particular song, I don't know if normies would like this song, but it's a very like ELO classic, and I guess like if you've seen them live or something, they might play it or whatever, or fans know it. And I was
can
like,
tell you if they play it live, if you have to say it.
so she was like, she said normies might not like it. And I was like, if you're a normie, you probably shouldn't be listening to ELO in the first place.
There's a lot of normies at that show. I gotta say, there's a lot of people that like own yachts, I think.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Totally off the wall, just because I love this song. The Diary of Horace Wimp.
Oh.
No, they actually do not play that song.
No. Okay.
And did not make my cut.
It was one of my last ones, though.
I love a good story about like a random character.
Yeah.
So that one kind of hit like a weird spot for me. So
No.
No.
I don't have it.
I had that's the album I have the least from.
I had a
Same.
feeling that was gonna like just
Yeah.
swing and miss, but I wanted to mention it anyway.
I
'cause
don't.
liked it.
I really hate disco, except for when Elo does it, and that one Kiss song.
There you go.
That's the only Kiss song I like. I hate Kiss, but I like that the fucking.
Is it rock and roll?
I was made
every
for
night?
loving you. No. And part of every day. I want to rock and roll at night and part of every day.
All right, Jody.
Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, this one. It was one of the ones where I was like, I'm not sure I want to put this in here. But it kept nagging me, the idea that I was going to take it out. Do you?
I got it.
I have it.
Didn't that song has some sentimental value for me too. I used it. My girlfriend of 10 years out of high school, I used that in a montage I made for her dad when he died.
Oh.
Mhm.
One of the couple songs I used, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't put it on this list. I think it's because I think it's one of the most popular songs of theirs, and I needed to cut something. But
Well, sometimes you got to cut
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know. That's cool though. 3.
And also, it's technically not an ELO song.
What?
It was
Yeah.
one of his previous band songs.
Oh.
Technically, it's a
okay.
cover.
Oh. Don't do that to me,
Technically,
Brian.
but if the guy wrote the song and he does
yeah,
it again,
it's
that's not a
it's
cover.
like it's a cover, but
Yeah.
it's not a cover. It's a cover
Yeah.
because it's a different band.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
like Ceremony from New Order is technically a Joy Division song, but they never officially released it.
Mm.
So that's why
Okay.
I say it's my favorite New Order song, technically.
All right. Now, where do I go? You know, we're sitting on this one, and it's cool if we don't get it, but I couldn't bring myself to cut it. Evil Woman.
Yep.
I didn't put it on there.
It was.
It was just because everyone knows that song. I feel like I don't need to push anybody on that.
It was in my first pass, but it was the first one I cut.
It's a wonderful song. I do it at karaoke sometimes.
I couldn't bring myself to cut it. Again, that's
Yeah.
one of those songs I didn't know was them. Like, obviously I knew the song.
And I know that you know and I can relate to that song, my friend.
Evil Woman.
I was forcing Nathan to listen to it earlier in the car, and he was like, "Oh, I actually know this one," and so that was kind of ultimately
Yeah.
what led me to
Yeah.
leave it on the list, just because, like I said,
Light bulb
sometimes you
moment.
need like a gateway drug to say, "Oh, I know that one."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes knowing one or two that you know that you already like will open up the floodgates for you.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
All right. Brian?
Okay. An album no one's touched on yet. Their other concept album. To me, this is the first pure ELO record because their first record was still with Roy Wood, who was the co-founder of ELO, who left right after the first record over creative differences with Jeff Lynne. Went on to form Wizard after that, and then did a song called Bend Over Beethoven, which is making fun of ELO.
Oh.
But he got inducted with them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to stop talking now and just go with. This is my favorite song from that record, even though it has a horribly offensive lyric, Painted Lady, to talk about a black person.
Mhm.
It's an artistic choice because it's like concept record that takes place in a different time. Nobody's Child.
Oh.
It's
I
like
have that.
it's got a nice jazz
Yeah, it does.
bass line to it, man. I like it. It's a funky song.
That was kind of a late cut for me. I'm sorry.
I don't have it.
Yeah, it's just us, Brian.
It's 2, though. 2's better than 0. All right, Jenny?
Oh crap! Pressure. The pressure. You know what? Okay. The other one I really liked from Time was Hold On Tight, and now that I know that was like the single, kind of feel like a shit.
That was their big song from that one.
But I loved it. You know what? It really
Yeah.
caught my attention, and I
It's a great
I
song.
caught myself listening to it over and over again
Yeah.
as I was skimming through the the whole list. So
I usually like rock songs that have some kind of French in them somewhere.
mhm.
I'm into it.
I don't have it.
don't have
It
it, though.
made my first pass, but didn't make it further.
Yeah, if I did top 30, it'd probably be on there.
Yeah, I
Right.
can see that.
All right, Jody.
Alrighty. Let's do this one. Another reminding, because this one reminds me of Across the Universe, Mr. Kingdom.
Ooh,
I got it.
no, don't have it though. There are no wrong answers here today.
No, I think it's no.
All right, got 2 though, and I think we are officially at an NTP. 1, 2.
That kind of
3,
made my first pass, I
5,
think.
6, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Yeah, we're out of NTP. So just a rundown: we have 3 Tightrope, One Summer Dream, Telephone Line, Unanimous, and 10 in the conversation. All right. I feel like this one was. It felt out of character, but then when you look at the band as a whole afterwards, it doesn't feel as much out of character. Poker. Kind of a
hard cut.
straightforward rocker.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah, I cut that in my last pass.
Wow.
We started out strong.
Hey, I ain't worried about it. That's why I threw that out here. I was like, you
Right.
know what? Now's the time for a miss. All right, Brian?
I'm gonna throw out an absolute miss. I would be genuinely surprised if anyone has this song. I love this song a lot. I even ripped this song off in my first band ever. Jungle.
Oh, my God. Okay, so I don't have it. But do you know how hard it was for me to cut that?
It's a great little song, man.
It definitely made my first pass. I think it may have been 27. It may have been like the last one I cut before the hard cuts came back in. That one was tough.
Yeah, I don't have it, but it was in the, I know I'm going to cut this in the next pass, so I'm not going to do this to
Yeah.
myself.
No, I love that song. That's an absolute top. I would say top 10 for me. I love that song.
All right. First of all, why am I not seeing it so I can put it over into the gimmick?
Gimmick.
There it is. Duh. All right, Jenny?
All right. I'm gonna go with Illusions in G major. Major? I can't read my handwriting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do not have it.
I do not either.
Pretty sure I do not either.
I just like that it had that. They kind of would go into that 50s rock and roll, like classic
Yeah.
rock and roll sound sometimes, and that was like a perfect example. For
That's
me.
that puts me in odds with most ELO fans. That's my least favorite thing about the band.
Really.
When they do like the Chuck Berry-esque stuff.
Mhm.
I just don't think Jeff Lynne sounds good doing that. Like his
Okay.
voice anyway, like musically it's great, but I don't think his voice really.
I don't think I could
goes
listen to
with
it if
that.
it was like an entire album of that, but
Yeah.
I like that it was kind of just thrown in with some of the
Yeah.
other ones, and it kind of went with it. So
All right, Jody?
All right. Let's do this. I think this is, well, it's one of the two, and I think might be my favorite song off of Time. Ticket to the Moon.
Oh, no.
Man, I really wish I could have put that whole record on here. Honestly,
I don't have it.
No.
I picked another song over that one.
Mm.
All right. So let me stay there.
No for me.
No. Let's stay right there on that album, though.
Nah.
From the End of the World.
No,
No, that was a late cut for me.
Nope.
I tried to pick like
Into the trash.
songs that all sound different on that record, and then it's a pretty diverse record anyway. But I tried to pick like my highlights. I'll go with that record too.
Okay.
The Way Life's Meant to Be, which is probably a miss. I think my
I
other
don't
two
have
picks
it,
for that
no.
record are gonna be misses. Honestly,
Yeah, that was also a very like I had a lot from Time,
yeah.
and it was very difficult to choose.
I can
which
see you
ones I
really
liked.
digging Time, honestly.
I didn't think I
you
was
and I are
going
like
to.
sci-fi nerds, so
Yeah,
it's like
I mean,
a time
like,
travel
that was the
record.
thing. Is like I listened to it though, and I like the concept, but I was like, man, I missed the orchestra.
Yeah.
Like I really missed that.
That's because you fucking fired him.
But so I listened to it and I was like kind of skeptical. I'm thinking like, I don't think I'm gonna like this one as much. And then when I looked at my list, I had like half the freaking album.
Yeah.
So it was really tough to cut.
I honestly
every
could have put
single
all
one
of
of them.
time and all of New World Record, and then that would have been my list.
Yeah, very
Wow.
very much so.
All right, Jenny.
Oh, why the hell not? Since we're all doing that album, I'm gonna go with 21st Century Man.
No.
Nope.
I think
Didn't
that's
think
the
so.
only song I could leave from that record.
It,
I'm not trying to be a dick.
it made my first
I'm not
pass.
trying to be a dick. I
I
just
am
am.
a dick. Yeah, just comes naturally to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Jody.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and finish out my representation of time just to be complete with it, which is my other, the other contender for favorite from it, Another Heartbreaks.
Nope. Nope.
Well, screw all you, to screw you all. Don't need you anyway.
I'm glad that we didn't go with B-sides from these records, because I would be
Good
missing
choices.
all these.
All right. I don't feel as strong about some of these last ones here. Let me go toss this one out here. Mission, a world record.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely yes.
I couldn't pick that whole record, so I had to cut stuff, man. I mean,
Happens.
that's how that song didn't get on his list.
Yeah, that was literally my last one, and I agonized. I was like, I can't have the entire New World Record on there.
Right, well, we got two.
And that's one of the other ones that reminded me heavily of another song. There's a lot of hints of MacArthur Park in there.
Yeah.
I always think of Jurassic Park, but
Well, when you leave a cake out in the rain,
Exactly.
sometimes dinosaurs come along
And
and
someone
they eat it.
let T-Rex out of the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid those things will harm me because they sure don't act like Barney. They think that I'm their dinner, not their friend. Oh no. Brian,
Right.
I love you guys so much.
where else can you get Weird Al Weird Al lyrics in?
Where else can you hate on Deep Blue something and talk about Weird Al at the same place? I'll close out my from Time, which clearly no one has. The Lights Go Down.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
He writes these little quirky. It just shows that he's a great fucking voice, man, and he can do a lot of Roy Orbison-esque vocals, and he does a lot of that
Yeah.
on the later records that I really love. That we did not include on this countdown.
All right, Jenny.
All right. I was hoping somebody else would jump on this grenade, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yell at me.
Do
I don't
it.
care. Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, dude. It
Oh
has
yeah,
to be on there.
definitely.
It's on mine.
Okay.
It's a great fucking song, and like being happy in my life now, which is, please don't just cut that out, please. Like
Nobody can know he's happy.
That's like an anthem for me. Like I love
Yeah.
that song. I mean, I've always loved that song, but I could never relate to it. But now I'm like, man, fuck, being happy is great. This is a great song, and I love Guardians of the Galaxy too. They fucking
Yeah.
they featured that song. I was so happy when I saw that.
Yeah.
Baby
yeah.
Groot's dancing around. Like that's me every time I hear that song.
The
Yeah.
sound of that song is just pure unadulterated joy.
It's-
Like I can
it's-
be in the shittiest mood and put that song on, and I feel
Yeah,
10 times better.
That is the song. I mean that should be the number one with the bullet. Honestly, I mean
Yeah.
everyone's heard that song. That's the only deterrent against it. But like that's what ELO is. That song.
But nobody says, "Oh, I know that song. I'm so sick of it." They
No.
say, "Oh, that's a
Dude,
great song."
It's a great song. I can listen to that song on repeat for the rest of my life and still fucking love it.
Well, I don't have it.
Well, that's cool. Fuck you.
Wrong.
It was absolutely one of the last 26, though. So those last 6 cuts, it was murder. All right, Jody.
Let's see. We'll go with this. Last Train to London.
No.
I really liked it when they played it live too, but it was never one of my favorite songs on that record. But hearing it live is great because it was like a laser light show and shit.
Mhm.
Fucking cool.
I know if I was doing the list the old way, where I would catch everything that just kind of caught my ear to begin with, that one definitely would have made it. But like, it would have made the second pass. Like,
Yeah.
but it's a great song.
No, I don't have it.
I just realized I didn't put a song on here that I like. Idiot.
Oops. All right, let's continue the.
We could do part 2 with these same records, and I can have a different list for you.
Let's continue the Justin onslaught. Night in the City.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I do not.
All right, I'm gonna go with Disco Very as well. Yeah, I'm gonna be a dick and pronounce it the way that you fucking intended it. So, I don't think I'm gonna hit with one of these. One of these maybe. Wishing.
I have it.
Good. Awesome.
Mm-mm.
Nope. That's 2 though. Don't get a box.
That's my kind of disco song, man.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. What's funny is I looked at the title Discovery,
Yeah.
and like as I was going back to it, I scrolled back and my phone only showed me disco,
Yeah.
and then I opened it up. I was like, "It's not called disco, is it?" I was like, "No,
Technically.
Disco Very."
Yeah. Disco Very.
It is very, very disco.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny.
Then I think I'm going to close out my selections from that. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of disco either, but something about this one I just kind of liked it. Shine a Little Love.
That's the one I just
I got
fucking
it.
said I was an idiot for not putting on my list. Great song. Because I love songs with claps in it. If you have a claps in your song, I'm into it. I love claps. I love the
got
clap. I'm a big fan of the clap.
Heyo.
Nice.
Love it.
Wait, no.
No.
No. Okay. Well, it's 2. It's 2. All right, Jody.
Well, then I guess I'll close out my very, very disco. Midnight Blue.
Mm.
Nope.
No, that was like my actual last cut.
I should have put that on my list. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
You have to make tough cuts.
I've lost all
that's the
confidence
game.
in myself. I don't even think I'm a fan of ELO anymore.
It
I
happens.
spent a lot of money on those tickets just to be a fucking poser. Apparently. I had really good seats. They were like $215. It was like the most money I've ever spent on a show in my life. But goddamn, it was. I went by myself. It was awesome.
Well, then. Well, then what's the question?
No,
here?
this is awesome. I mean, he fucked up a lot of words, and I'm glad I got to see him now. Like, I'm glad I got to see him now because he's really old, but he's not like Bob Dylan. Like, he should fucking kill himself old. Stop. No, fuck Bob Dylan, man. I saw him and he was terrible. He sang my favorite my favorite song he's ever written, which is "A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall," and I wish I never heard him do it. He's
It
so
ruined it
bad
for you.
He's like he sounds like Tom Waits having a heart attack falling downstairs. Like it's just awful.
Well,
But I'm glad I got to see him before he gets anywhere close to that. Like, he's still competent. He's not. It's not like when I saw Rocky Erickson, where he just kind of stands there with a guitar and doesn't play it and just kind of mumbles the words out. Which I'm glad I saw Rocky Erickson, but like, it's sad. But this is before it got sad, you know.
just before.
But he still fucked up a lot of words, and I'm like, man, you want me to do these songs? I'll go up there.
I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah.
I'll pick somebody from the crowd. All right.
I would love to have a fucking Bruce Springsteen moment, dance in the dark.
Yeah. Who,
Good for a
me?
pod. All right. All right. How about Fire on High?
No,
Yet.
I think it's a
No.
song that nobody realizes ELO as well.
Yeah.
I played that song at work when I was working at I think it was Cinema Cafe when I was kitchen managing there years ago. I played that song and somebody thought it was Blue Oyster Cult. They always thought it was Blue Oyster Cult. I'm like, nah, man. Why? Because there's like a backwards message on it.
That's definitely true though. Like I heard it and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
instantly familiar, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. There's the reverse on that that backmasking is this message is reversible, time is not.
Ooh.
Turn back, turn back, turn back.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Nice.
All right. Brian.
All right.
I'm down to my last 4 here.
Me
Uh,
too.
I'm running out
I'm
too.
getting pretty low on my list as well. I'm gonna go my last on Disco Very. One of the biggest songs they've ever had. Still love the song. It's not really a disco song. It's the one that stands out the most because it's not a disco song. Don't Bring Me Down.
I got it.
No. Sorry.
It was among my last cuts.
I love singing that song.
Well, got 2 of 4. All right.
That's
Jennie?
also the name of my favorite Beatles song.
Oh.
Oh no, that's "Don't Let Me Down." I think.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, close enough.
Either way,
Tricked
I
me.
like songs about being disappointed.
I'm starting to not be able to read my handwriting. I don't know which ones I named, which ones I didn't. So I'm just gonna guess Rock Aria.
Dude, that was the hardest song not to include on this list.
Really?
I love singing the opera part too because I can match her pretty well, honestly. She sings in German, I believe.
I just like. I know you said you don't really like the classic rock and roll kind
Yeah,
of sound, but
that's the one exception because it has that operatic part in
right.
it.
And I feel
really-
like that
fucking love
really
it.
sums up the
Yeah.
band. It's like you got rock and roll and you've got classical.
The
and
only
opera.
time I like when he does that is on that record, I think.
Well, I don't have it, but this proves my theory. Germans love David Hasselhoff.
I mean, he's the one who brought down the Berlin Wall, dude. I don't know if y'all know that historical fact.
Did you have Rock Aria?
I did not.
Okay, Rockaria. All right.
Rockaria.
Rockaria.
Rockaria just sounds like a disorder.
Sounds
I had
like
a
close
bad
to
case of
gonorrhea.
rock-
I
Rockaria the
got
other day.
explosive rockaria, man.
I
I
was
can't
on
come into
Can't
that.
come.
Toilet all day.
All right, Jody.
Alrighty. Let's see. Alright, let me close out Face the Music. Waterfall.
I was just thinking that's the one I was gonna throw out next, and no one's gonna get it.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, because I realized that all the songs I picked from that record are kind of sad. It's like Waterfall, Strange Magic, and One Summer Dream. They're all like dreamy, sad songs.
Yeah. And
They're
that was
good.
why I cut Waterfalls, because I had too many dreamy sad
Well,
songs.
I can never cut Waterfall.
All right, so 2 though. 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4 ain't so bad. All right,
That's a
put that-
fucked up song too. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up record.
It
That's
really is.
misogynistic. But I love that record.
Meatloaf deprogrammed.
Let me go here, because I only got 3 left. Laredo Tornado.
I have
Got
it.
it.
Oh.
I didn't think
Yeah.
anybody
I
would
was-
have it.
I was thinking that you haven't really played El Dorado a lot. I think I'm the only one who had a song from that so far,
I think I had like
is
one. I don't
not
know
which
which
was
true.
which is Nobody's Child.
Because
Mr. Kingdom.
that's
Oh, yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
which I had both of.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Right,
I'm-
so-
No, I won't.
I'm mistaken.
So Laredo Tornado has 3 out of 4, so I'll put that towards the top. All right.
I don't really know what that means. I just like that song. I think it just it sounds good together.
Yeah.
Laredo
Mhm.
Tornado.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just gibberish.
All right. Bryan?
I will close out my picks from that record. El Dorado.
I don't have it.
Nope.
He writes great songs about the disillusionment of like idyllic things, dreamlike things. I really like it. Like Shangri-La and El Dorado. They're about being disillusioned. So it's great.
No, I didn't
No.
have
I'm
it.
very sad.
So let's see. I think I've got 2 left. Starlight.
Starlight.
I have it.
Oh.
No, not that one.
No, I have it.
May I have the shampoo?
I think I have 2 left as well. Oh man, I should have put that.
Well, I
song
have
in
2
there.
left now.
All right, so 2, so that goes down towards the bottom. All right, Jody.
All right, both of these are from the would have been self-titled. So
Same.
let's see.
My last 2.
We'll do this one so I can save this other one for last. Manhattan Rumble.
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
That was one of the few that got through on that record initially.
Glad
for
I
me.
saved the other one for last. Or at least I'm glad now.
All right, so Standing in the Rain.
That was the opening song they played.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He uses the word rain and
There's
night.
a lot of songs with
Yeah,
rain.
rain and night are his favorite things to write about.
Thanks.
Am I all alone on Standing in the Rain?
Yeah,
I do not
it's a great song, man. I mean,
That's okay. That's okay.
something had to go.
All right, Bryan.
All right, I will go with I think this is gonna be an absolute whiff. This is the one Roy Wood song I picked on this list, which there's only one album of his.
Mhm.
Like they co-wrote each other like every other song. This one is "Look at Me Now." It is a very odd song,
I don't have it.
but
Nope.
No.
it shows the complete difference of songwriting styles between those two. But great song.
And my last one is from the same album, First Movement.
Nope.
No.
No, that was one of the last ones I cut.
All right, Jody.
And my last song, Queen of the Hours.
Ooh.
Nope.
No. Don't have it.
All right. So my last song, technically, I'm putting this out there, was Here's the News, but I'm throwing that into the...
That's a great song, though.
Yeah.
It is.
That was like 22 for me.
I'm glad I'm getting it in the conversation, but since it's my show...
I really can see you liking that record.
Hmm. I loved it.
Since it's my show, I'm throwing Here's the News in the trash and throwing my last pick towards Mr. Blue Sky to make it unanimous.
Okay.
I've
right.
been.
I'm in. All right, so my last one, clearly nobody has. One of my favorite, I think it was my favorite song from this record, from their self-titled Mr. Radio.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
That was
that,
a late one for me,
and
too.
it was hard not to include it.
Hmm.
All right, so we're all cleared out? All cleared out. So we got 4 in. Tightrope, Mr. Blue Sky, One Summer Dream, and Telephone Line.
We could cut right there.
And just so we know, Mr. Blue Sky got 2 listener votes. Evil Woman got 1, Wild West Hero got 1, and Telephone Line got 1.
Not having Wild West Hero in here was painful for me.
I feel like that made that first 47.
He played that live too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go through what we got here. 10-538 Overture, Turn to Stone, Laredo Tornado, Yours Truly, Wishing, and Do Ya are all 3s.
I think we have to have something from Time on there.
Yeah.
I would go Yours Truly. I mean, that was one of my picks, obviously, but
I
So
think
the-
I was the one out on that one. Maybe.
The only 2 that made it this far were Yours Truly and Twilight. Yours Truly had 3. So I don't know.
I was the one out on that one.
you know, if it's between those two, hold on to Yours Truly and maybe put Twilight through, because I think that's a bit more accessible for people
Twilight.
to get into
Yeah.
ELO on, and it does represent the sound of that record. I'm a nerd, and
Yours Truly.
I like
great.
things that are about fucking robots. So
I mean, you're selling it to me.
yeah. Especially like a very subservient robot that's like, is that what you want? That's all she says.
The whole time that I'm listening to this song the first pass through, because as I'm getting through it, I remember hearing it in the past, but when it first started playing, I don't remember it. And I'm just remembering the movie Her
Yeah.
and the attempts of the AI to bring a human surrogate in order to have a physical relationship.
Yeah. Which they did, which is one of the things I will give credit for that fucking Blade Runner sequel that they made, was they had a scene where his holographic girlfriend, they bring in this prostitute and they fuck with her
Yeah.
projected on her. I thought that was really cool. I'm a fucking pervert. I'm sorry.
Could be worse, I guess.
There are worse problems to have.
Also, have to point this out.
I talked about robot sex on my first radio show on your old radio station.
Robot sex.
Yeah. Are you
Doesn't
for or
like
against
robot
it? And I changed my stance since then, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. After Westworld, I was like, you know what? There could never be true consent with a robot, so I'm against it now.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true, because if it's programmed to say yes,
Yeah,
that's not consent.
exactly.
So just to point out, Overture is the only song from No Answer on the entire list, and 3 of
It
us
has to
had
go
it.
through. It has to go through, dude.
I feel like it does. I mean, I had it, so it's tough.
We have to have
And
something that
It would have been unanimous if I hadn't
Yeah.
swapped out for Telephone Line.
yeah.
All right.
No,
I don't have a problem with that.
It's got to go through.
All right. So that takes one. So we need to.
What do we
get
have
five
from
more.
Discovery that needs to go through?
All right. So
We don't
let's
have
see.
anything as unanimous, right? From that
Right.
one.
We have Wishing, Shine a Little Love, and Don't Bring Me Down. All got 2 votes.
You know, I'm going to go Shine a Little Love because I should have put that on my list. Between those ones. And Wishing was one of mine. Well, actually, the other 2 were picks I had, but I think that's a better representation of that record.
I had Shine a Little Love.
And they played it live,
Yeah, I
too.
had
Actually, I had Shine a Little Love and Don't Bring Me Down. I didn't have Wishing.
I'd go Shine a Little Love from that record.
So Jennie played it. I had it.
Yeah.
Bryan's pushing. How do you feel about Shine a Little Love, Jody?
Well, I will say it didn't make my first cut, but I, at the same time, don't really have a problem with it being the representation.
Because I don't think we need another song from that record to go.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's put that one through. And then that also can get rid of...
I'm so happy that Tightrope was unanimous. God, I love that song.
It, like I said, it was absolutely one of my favorites of these albums, period. All right. Now, I feel like the hard work begins. So again, with 3 votes, Turn to Stone, Laredo Tornado, Yours Truly, 2095, and Do Ya. And then...
One Summer Dream was unanimous, was it not?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
I wanted to get a ballot on there.
The rest, with only 2 votes, Strange Magic, The Whale, Twilight, Evil Woman, Mission, World Record, Nobody's Child, Mr. Kingdom, Waterfall, and Starlight. Do we feel like any of those are expendable at this point?
We talked about putting Twilight through, right? If we put Yours Truly on hold, if there's room for it later to add that.
Right.
But I think Twilight's... Because they both bleed into each other.
Yeah.
Twilight and Yours Truly.
I mean, I had Twilight, so I'm cool with that.
I didn't, and I'm all for it, even over the Yours Truly, which I really love. But I would go for, if we're gonna do a song from El Dorado, Laredo Tornado is a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say, Nobody's Child and Mr. Kingdom are through as well. Laredo Tornado had 3 votes, though. Awfully quiet over there, Jody. How you feeling about
Everyone
these?
listening, go listen to that whole record. It is a concept record about Oz, technically, like the Wizard of Oz, and also El Dorado, the fabled city. But great record, start to finish. And has, if you get the remastered one with all the bonus tracks, the instrumental overture of the whole record in one track is so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
How you feeling about pushing Twilight through? And how do you feel about pushing Laredo Tornado through? So it's easy for me to say yeah because I had them both.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Twilight.
Hesitant on Laredo?
Only because it really didn't grab me.
Is there something that you'd push for harder? That's...
Yes, for album representation, but not necessarily as in place of that sound.
Okay.
I would go for Mr. Kingdom.
I would
That's
go.
one.
I was going to go with Mr.
Yeah,
Kingdom.
I'd be fine with that.
I had that one too.
But yeah, Twilight, I don't have a problem with at all. That's fine.
We definitely need more like a rocket song though.
Right.
I mean, we got the overture on there. That's a rocket song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that opening guitar from Laredo Tornado is so good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I think I was the one that didn't have. God, why is my brain not working right? The one you just said.
Mr. Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I hear a little bit of that?
Can we get
It's
that over here?
I don't know.
We have the technology.
I don't think it's plugged in. So.
It is not. Log in.
I can play it on my phone
Yeah.
on the speaker.
I don't remember
wanna
my
do that?
login.
I'll totally do it.
Justin is cringing already
know,
just
right?
thinking about it.
I can't. Let me
Yeah, I'm
see.
not worried about it. Yeah, that's cool. I'm fine with it.
God, there's so many good songs on that record though.
Yeah.
Poor Boy. Boy Blue.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 2 more spots left. Let me just give the rundown here. Turn to Stone, Laredo Tornado, Yours Truly 2095, Do Ya, Strange Magic, The Whale, Evil Woman, Mission, a World Record,
Wait, I thought. Well, what was the first song you mentioned?
Turn to Stone.
Oh, okay. I was for some reason I thought I heard Mr. Blue Skies. I thought that went through.
No, that one went through because I threw my gimmick away. Nobody's Child, Waterfall, and Starlight. So, how about we try to get rid of some stuff here?
I think Turn to Stone should go through.
Bryan doing the exact opposite of what I said. I mean, I was the holdout on that. I mean, I've gotten almost everything I wanted here. So what do I care?
How many other songs from that record do we have?
One. Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, you gotta have at least. That's a double album. You have to have at least two songs from there.
All right, so let's put that one through. I was the odd man out on that, so
And I think that puts us at 9.
Really? Shit.
Does that
Yeah.
change?
Are there
your
any
answer?
records that are not represented?
I think we got at least one from everyone at this
What,
point.
what do we have
Looks like
from
it.
Face to Music? One Summer Dream, right?
Yeah,
right,
One
right.
Summer Dream.
That's a great fucking song too.
We got 2 from New World Record. Got 1 from No Answer. 1 from Discovery. 1 from Time. And 1 from Eldorado. All right, so
I'd like to have another one from Time on there, but that's just my vote.
I was actually leaning the same way.
'Cause
Yours
we
truly.
have 2 from
Yeah.
my favorite records so far, except for that one.
so far it sounds like Do Ya, Strange Magic, they're not getting any love. Let's start making these
Everybody
cuts.
knows those songs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Whale, somehow Jenny and I had.
Yeah,
was-
that was
Oh,
that was,
I
that
had
was an
that.
That was
impressive.
Jody
Yeah.
and I
That was an
had it.
impressive pick. I gotta say, I didn't have it, but I'm impressed. A nice deep cut.
I do weird.
It was weird, and I just
It
couldn't
was like
let
Jungle.
It go.
Jungle's a weird song too. I
Evil.
didn't think anyone would have.
Evil Woman's a good one to drop at this point. Everyone knows that. Even though
Mhm.
most people are probably like me and don't realize it's them. Mission can go. Nobody's Child. Starlight.
I misspoke earlier when I said that Evil Woman strings was reversed from a different song. It's actually Nightfall is what that string, the reversing of that string section. I don't want to go on record looking like I don't know what I'm talking about.
So
Alright,
this is the part we're going to cut.
Me? Make a cut? You crazy.
Impossible.
That's right. I'd have to do that.
All right. So this is it.
Edit.
The final 2. Laredo Tornado versus Yours Truly.
Fuck.
Gotta make it difficult. Can't make
Ah.
it easy. And again, I had both. So
I had both too.
I had just one.
Yeah, it's my same. I had just yours truly.
All right, go through the list one more time. Like
So
of
what
the
we
stuff
have,
that's
the
going
9?
through. Yeah.
Tightrope, Mr. Blue Sky, One Summer Dream.
All right, I've heard
Telephone
enough. Let's go Yours Truly because we have enough rocking songs to justify putting another of the more electronic ones on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Plus, it's weird.
And it's about robot sex.
Exactly.
I mean, just on that.
I
like,
cannot stress enough.
Lewis, 2020, Robot Sex.
Exactly.
That's it.
Now, is that sex with robots or robots having sex?
I mean, they're
Or do
going
we
to become
reach a-
sentient. And
Or so, or do we reach a point where it really doesn't matter?
you know. I mean, we could end disease.
Just let the robots do it.
All right, here's our 10 then. Tightrope, Mr. Blue Sky, One Summer Dream, Telephone Line, 10538 Overture. I said that different each time on
Yeah.
purpose. Shine a Little Love, Twilight, Mr. Kingdom, Turn to Stone, Yours Truly, 2095.
That made me think of that Norm Macdonald bit where he was like, the Pirates of the Caribbean. He's like, there were 2 ways to say that, and I messed them both up.
God, I love Norm. He's great.
He was
All right.
he was perfect at Weekend Update, man.
He was. Which brings me to my, which proves my theory.
He was the only one that Chevy Chase approved of. Chevy Chase was he was the only person that got it right.
He is, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched any of the more current, so I don't know.
It's not Norm Macdonald. Who cares?
You're right. Very good point.
Huh.
Although I did like Colin. He just wasn't Norm.
Hey Norm.
Hi.
Hey Norm. The
All
moon
right.
were made of cheese. Would you eat it? I know I would.
All right. I'm going to put Jody on the spot here.
I.
And we'll go this way. What's the number one with the bullet? Because I already know Brian's answer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
give you 2. I give you 2 because I can't choose. And since I know one of them is Brian's answer, it makes it even easier for me to just give you 2. Tightrope and Brian's answer.
Those would be my other one would be Tightrope. Honestly,
So Tightrope or Mr. Blue Sky. There you
I'm
go.
just gonna say Mr. Blue Sky.
I kind of want to say Tightrope now because
It's
no,
ether.
because everyone knows Mr. Blue Sky. You know that song. If you're a child born today, knows that song. So Tightrope is a quintessential song defines their sound, and my favorite ELO song. But
Okay, well, the good news is
as far
both
as
those songs would have been my answer.
yeah,
I'm leaning towards Tightrope just because it was my favorite.
yeah,
I listened to it and I was like, God damn, this is good.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna grip people the way that it doesn't have the all appeal that Mr. Blue Sky does.
Mm-hmm. But it
But
better
it's-
defines
but
them.
if you like that song, you're gonna love ELO.
Yeah.
If you like Tightrope, then you are an ELO fan already.
Right.
That's
That's a good
ELO.
point. That's a good point.
So you can like Mr. Blue Sky and not like ELO.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to like Tightrope and not like ELO.
So we're going with the Tightrope. The
I'm fine
Tightrope.
with that.
Yeah.
All right. Hey. All right. So
I feel like I just come on the show and persuade everyone to go with what I want. Well, every single time.
Well,
I
again-
talk everyone into doing my number one with a bullet.
Tightrope or Mr. Blue Sky was going to be mine.
Right.
So like there was no talking me off
I'm
of
just a
either of
master
those two.
debater, I think.
Well, part of that's right.
Take
the D
the,
Hey-o.
the letter half of that.
Take your D out, Brian.
Exactly.
Tightrope.
Bait.
Mr. Blue Sky. One Summer Dream. Telephone Line. Overture. Shine a Little Love. See, I said it different again. Twilight. Mr. Kingdom. Turn to Stone. Yours truly. 2095.
Yeah.
That's our 10. I have no idea because I'm so far out of the loop because I moved and then vacation, and I'm trying to get the ones that I already had. So I have no idea who's on what.
I don't remember. Well, who's on first?
Who's
But
on first? Yeah.
What's on second?
yeah.
I don't know.
That's third.
Third.
So glad that just happened. It made me genuinely happy.
That's why we're friends.
But I feel like, if nothing else, Jody and Bryan, you were on a yes panel.
Yeah.
Whenever
Yes,
that happens.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Uh-huh.
see.
Well, panels are hard.
Yeah.
What are you up for, though, Jenny? I know you just put up L7 and nobody's jumped on it yet.
I don't. That's
Can I come be on that and just throw bloody tampons on everyone?
Of course. I mean, I'm gonna throw them, so why
Awesome.
not? Man, I feel like I'm on like
Are you and I on anything
High
together
strung.
again?
high strung. Cindy Lauper, I think we discussed.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
yeah. You guys are doing Cyndi Lauper whenever
Um,
that happens.
I think I'm running out of choices, though.
I'd
honestly,
be more than happy
Oh.
to include myself in that one if you want another face and.
So there we go. You heard it here
Yeah.
first, folks.
These same faces.
Yeah.
These same faces will do Cyndi Lauper
These
eventually.
faces you can't
Yes.
see right now unless
Yes.
you're
You
like
know what?
looking
You're
at us through a
doing
window.
okay,
In that case,
listeners. You're getting the better end of the deal here. We all have voices for radio.
And I will be on all of the episodes. So
no way.
Good for you. Anyway,
Justin, I just have to say that I'm glad that you actually enjoyed ELO because I was very nervous. Like, I
you
think
thought
I
they were
talked.
going to be Steely Dan.
Yeah, I said the other day I felt like it was going to be Steely Dan Part 2.
No, and
It's
so
fine not to like Steely Dan. I
and
mean, I
they're
like
not
Steely
even
Dan.
bad.
I like Steely Dan, but it's fine not like them.
they're not bad. I didn't dislike them.
Nah.
It's just nothing about them grabbed me to make me want to go
I
back.
remember when I saw them, they came with Steve Winwood. Ugh. They came to the amphitheater with Steve Winwood, and I just did the Silent Mile thing that was protesting police violence, and I was like, I went from doing something incredibly black to something the whitest thing I could possibly do, which is go see Steely Dan. So yeah,
No, I didn't mind Steely Dan. There's like a handful of songs that I enjoyed, but I'll never go out of my way to listen to Steely Dan again. Now, Alabama, on the other hand,
no God,
that show will happen eventually too, and you'll hear all my thoughts on God.
I thought you already recorded that episode.
No,
didn't you? You keep
I was
putting it off.
supposed to have. Well, no, I don't. That's the worst part. Is I've done all the work. I'm ready to go.
I'm
and it keeps
sorry.
getting pushed off.
Wow, that sucks.
So-
you have a shitty life.
Well, you know, that's not incorrect.
I think I saw them when I was in Myrtle Beach once because they had the Alabama Theater down there, and my grandfather used to have a condo down there because my dad's side of the family has money.
Oh.
So we would go to Myrtle Beach every year, and they have. I think I saw them there. I don't remember. They have a Dolly Parton theme park there, though. Dollywood. It was pretty cool.
See, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton's on the list, and nobody's jumped on that yet.
Oh, Dolly
I mean,
Parton.
she has like 1 million records, so it would have to get.
I couldn't tell you anything past like her first 3 records.
It would definitely have to get like trimmed down to
Yeah.
a manageable amount, but still, I want to talk about her. All right, I think you guys have heard enough of us. I think,
Yeah, I have.
but You have not heard enough of me. Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin. $1 a month. $1 freaking dollar a month gets you everything I'm doing, essentially. All 3 people in this room are patrons.
Yeah.
And are happy patrons. I'm putting words in their mouths.
Of course.
Hey,
Well-
hey, hey.
I'm happy with giving you the money for the Patreon.
Whether or not
But-
she's happy or not is a
Yeah,
totally
but
different
that's
thing.
that's a bigger question that we need to talk
I'm
about
happy
on a different
independently, and then I also support you.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with
I
the
don't think
content
those
I
two
create.
things go
Sometimes
together,
I'm
but-
happy, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm always okay
Yeah.
and appreciative of the response from the money that I provide.
I'm
There you
happy
go.
when I hear me,
Yeah, yeah.
which thankfully is a lot.
As a matter of fact, technically speaking, the last 2 episodes of Deprogrammed proper have you in them.
Yeah.
Because
And they're proper because I'm here.
the one in between was just me going, I don't know. Essentially. In case you haven't listened, go back.
Did you do an ABBA show yet?
I've not.
Ooh, that would be
All
interesting.
right, I'll put
Let's-
ABBA on the
Let's
list.
do ABBA, dude.
Yeah,
I'll do
yeah,
ABBA.
I'd be there for that.
It's
I can get you a person who's never been on the show before, probably.
I'm also into new voices.
Yeah.
So next time, maybe it'll be at my house. Maybe my in-laws won't be in town. But with that, ELO, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye now.